Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Over here in upstate New York, we have a shining situation. There's snow everywhere. But hopefully for you, it is a nice sunny day. And if it isn't, right, grab the fireplace and chill. Yeah. But today, everyone, we have a checklist for you. We're going to be talking about how to troubleshoot your live streams so they can go as smooth as they can possibly go. And if something does go wrong, which it will during live stream, so that you know how to fix it quickly and where to go to fix it. So this is today. We're also towards the end of the show are going to provide you with a checklist for you to be able to go through these steps. So don't worry about it. You don't have to go on and write them down very quickly as we go through.
Yeah.
But yes. So let's say hello to the fam. Paul.
Victor, good to see you here. Happy Friday, Victor.
I'm like, Paul.
Hello, Mr. Moderator. Tatiana is here. Welcome
Tatiana,
back.
Hope you're feeling better.
Yes. P, hello. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Music got Tatiana dancing. That's what we like to hear. Yeah, Paul, going to have to send you another profile to crash your Ecamm with your updated playlist. It's been updated quite well. It's like, it's as massive as 4.0. So, yeah, we're going to have to work on that. Kimberly Gunn, good to see you
Hello,
here.
Kimberly.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. Loves the background. Thank you. Yes.
Ooh.
No, we don't think the snow is staying, right? Because it's been weird up here. It snows 2 to 3 inches. The next day, the sun comes out and melts everything away.
Yeah, it's interesting. We don't know. Fuljens doesn't like checking the weather, and neither do I, actually.
There's no point.
Yeah, when we have to go out to events, then we check it. But other than that, there's
no point.
we're hermits, people. We're just like in the house.
Aside from that, the weather is two-faced. Yes, it'll be high 90s here in Texas.
Look at that. I need to listen, enjoy. Like 90 for me, it's a little bit too hot, but I prefer the 90 over what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I made a checklist for live using Notion app, so I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, yes, Tatiana, that's great. We use an app as well like that. It wasn't Notion, it was Craft, but it will be awesome to say what you think about it as well. Yeah, so before we get started, for those of you who are already going live, what has been the oh my gosh, the most what do we call it? Like a happening moment that you like, the troubleshooting that you had to do while live? What has been something that has happened to you that you have had to troubleshoot while live? Let us know in the comments and let's see if it matches with what we have here and how you cannot go through that again. Because sometimes we figure things out, but then afterwards we forget what we did to fix the problem because we went through a whole bunch of steps. But now, for us at least, we know where to go because we have already had the miles put in there, that situation.
Put in the miles.
Yeah, I know that for Paul, he was talking to us for Paul. he practices a lot, and he finds some problems that even after troubleshooting, he still finds it, and he only finds it when he does a test. So we're gonna be talking about that as well. So for you, what is that? Fuljens, for you, what has been your troubleshooting on a live stream situation?
It's mostly audio.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for me, at the beginning, when I first started, it was audio, obviously, but the second was the scenes that were not locked. And I went to show something, and all of a sudden, the scenes were moving all over the place, and I had to just play it cool online with my guests and all of that. But quickly figured out that we just have to lock our scenes, right?
Yeah. So, and that goes into the best practices is to stay cool. Don't let it bother you. And Paul agrees. Sound seems to be the most frequent issue.
Yeah, and we're going to definitely cover some of the steps for that to minimize it, because sometimes it will still happen, especially when you have a guest, because now you have two sources coming in. But yeah. Okay, do we have any lessons learned from, audio? Kenesha, okay. Oh, Tatiana has also one. Troubleshooting live in Ecamm when I was playing a video that was playing fine during the rehearsal, but was choppy during live stream. Had to stop it and cut to me. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, we're gonna cover that. Okay, so let's see. Audio is Kenesha. Audio delayed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's see Kimberly's. I've been having an error with files and scenes not being located. We got an answer for you. Yep. Okay. And Paul?
In the beginning, it was interface in front of the keyboard.
Okay. Look at that. All right.
So I'm going to put an asterisk next to some of them.
Yes. Oh, we're all gonna love this. We're gonna be pretty awesome at this. Okay, so we're first going to start with the most important one that we think, right? Because if we don't have this, we don't have a stream, right? Internet connection, everyone. Internet connection. Fuljens.
Yeah. The best practice is to make sure we're hardwired, right? So that's one of the things. That is the step number one, right?
Yeah.
If you when you have the opportunity to make sure that you are wired, right, versus using Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Right? That's the most reliable connection for the most obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you do not, for some reason, your internet connection is super far away, you can either have a repeater, what Julie has, an extender.
Yeah.
You can purchase an extender. And or if you have to, right, use Wi-Fi, you have to tell everybody in the house that they're off.
Yeah.
Right? They're just done.
Yeah. And a good point about the extender, because this studio is upstairs on a second floor. The router is downstairs and across the house, right? So there is no router in this studio. I have a Netgear Wi-Fi extender. And with that Wi-Fi extender, I'm hardwiring the Ethernet cable to my computer, right?
And it works very nicely.
It works very nicely, right? So if you do not have opportunity to have a router in your room, get a Wi-Fi extender and hardwire that. Because if we do a speed test up here, that we can do while live. Let's go to, let's screen share this. Let's try the speed test here. Let's see what we got going on here. And if I was not hardwired, the results would be different versus,
very different.
Having a wire in
Yeah,
there.
you used to have a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Even on Zoom calls.
This room is kind of isolated from the Wi-Fi, right? So my connection is very fast. Should be able to handle multiple devices, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember when for this room so this room for real, it's a dead zone.
Yeah.
And because I remember where my son used to stream here, because that's where he used to stream from. He used to just lose his stuff because he was playing with a team and then it kept lagging. So his team kept getting mad at him, etc. And at that time, we got a little extender that plugged into the outlet, but that didn't do it because this is so far away. So what Fuljens got was a router. Like, how much do you pay for that?
About, was it like $200 or $300?
Yeah, he went all out for that.
The Netgear Nighthawk. Nighthawk. Let me see. Mesh extender. Let's see here.
It looks like a space.
Yeah, there's because they have some new ones now. But mine is pretty.
But
recent.
you can look it up, and you don't really have to spend that much money. Fulgens just went like he was so frustrated.
No, I think no. Mine is one of the more affordable ones, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Because our customer has one that is not that expensive though, and it works nicely.
But theirs is with actually like a service, kind of like T-Mobile or something like that.
Got it.
There's no service. This is working with the existing Wi-Fi internet connection.
So that is it, everyone. Internet connection is it, because if you don't have one, no matter if you troubleshoot your audio nicely, if you get your Ecamm all set, it's still going to not work for you if your internet connection is poor, right? So that's the first thing that we cover. Okay, so
right.
Let's see.
And then so we covered that. And best practice if you're not in a dead zone like I am, make sure you have a Wi-Fi extender works well. Make sure it's hardwired. Do your speed test and the tools inside of Ecamm.
Right.
So I do have a screenshot here.
And you did show how to do the speed test on Google, right?
Right. So Google, you just Google speed test. But if you don't even want to go that far, it's so simple to do Google speed test and then you just do it there. But Ecamm has the built-in speed test right there. It's under system preferences. You go to stream and you have this green ticker, right? Required speed for 2 destinations, we're in the green. And if you keep increasing that speed, the destination count, depending on how many locations you want to multi-stream to, make sure that you stay in the green for that.
Yeah, gotta be in the green. Okay, so let's see. Any questions about that before we move on to number 2?
Yeah, Robert has a comment about the Nighthawk. I have a Nighthawk and just recently went away from Wi-Fi to Ethernet. Huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Victor says step number 1: make sure your internet has more than 3 megabits upload. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that is it. That is it. All right, are we all set?
In terms of
hello, Marcos. Instead of questions, in terms of questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So now we're going to go to checklist number 2. Video settings, everyone. Video settings. We get a lot of questions about my video. It doesn't look good. My video keeps all of these questions that the majority of them can be resolved if you do a checklist as well. So we're going to go into Ecamm. We're going to talk about the stream, right? How do you choose the high? Do you choose the, what do they call it? Let's go into Ecamm and do let's do the live demo mode. And let's go and check out how is it that they call it. They call it highest on the video.
Yeah, we just probably won't be able to select it while we're live.
Right, but we can show it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's show it.
Under stream, right?
Yep. And then we can do that one right there. So you see the stream size, when you go right up there, you can check if it's high, and you can go into different modes, right? You can select the one. So if you're going to do 4K and you have your camera at 4K, then you can select that. So you have to have the setting. You have to match your camera settings to the stream size so that you can get the same output, right? So you're like, oh, I have my camera set to 4K, or I have Ecamm set to 4K, but your camera is set to 1080. Is not this, the quality is not going to show, right? So just make sure for that the stream size matches your camera.
Yeah, and also the stream size plus the destinations will impact your verified check marker right here.
Yeah, exactly. So that
Yeah.
will change. That will change real quick. Okay, so then another thing that we have to cover as well is when you have your stream size selected and you have your different cameras, also everything else that goes behind it in terms of your lighting is going to affect it. Okay, so if you don't have enough lighting, even if you have a gray stream, size and all of that, your lighting is going to differ because it can introduce noise to your visuals. Okay, so you just make sure that you're well lit so that when you are, what you see here is what everyone is seeing out there as well. Okay.
Interesting thing about lighting. So I had above some Wi-Fi bulbs, and then a couple of weeks ago,
You have Wi-Fi bulbs?
yeah, the Wi-Fi bulbs, right? So the bulbs back here got these on Amazon. You could change the colors and everything like that. They're not Wi-Fi. I just have a remote control, and you could just change the colors, right? But the bulbs had some bulbs up overhead. They're 5600K, but they were internet bulbs. But I recently replaced them. But anyway, the internet bulbs, I was live a couple weeks ago on BuildingBlocks, and I was getting some static noise on the SM7B. I'm like, what is going on? I'm swapping out the XLR cable. I'm restarting the Rodecaster Pro and everything like that. And it continued to happen. And I'm like, why does it happen at certain times? Sometimes it doesn't. It was the bulbs. It was light bulbs up above.
So it was causing interference in the...
Yep. The bulbs, the Wi-Fi bulbs were causing interference with the microphone or with the Rodecaster.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And then some of us can be like sticklers where I'm getting used to making sure that, I guess we'll talk about audio later. We'll go into audio, but making sure that your XLR cable, for example, is not touching any of the cables, the power cables, so that could cause interference. I'm like, I'm wired correctly. What's going on? It was the Wi-Fi bulb.
Yeah, it is great troubleshooting and finding the answer to things. It's absolutely great. So some of the other tips that we can regarding that is also you can have the internet, you can check out your video and all of that. Additionally, if you have additional apps open that you do not need, close them, right? Close all of them, because just as Fuljens mentioned, there's some interference with his Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi and the microphone. There could be some interference between apps that they're competing for resources. And if you don't need an app, just close it. Close those apps and just keep the ones that you need open for your stream open. Mm-hmm. That is another huge one that I would say really helped my streams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, let's see what else. Feel free, everyone, to write in the comments what do you do if you have some apps open and you close them, if you find out that makes a difference, or if you have had to troubleshoot something like Fuljens just did, so that we know. Because these things, I mean, who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Victor says 2.4 gigahertz signal may be interesting. Yeah. I wasn't looking at the gigahertz.
But how did you figure out it was the bulbs?
I was like, wait a minute. Oh, you know what it was too? There was something else. I'm hearing a static noise or something, like a clicking noise. And then when I turn the light off, the noise stops. So I'm like, it must be that. So I turned on the Rodecaster, and I don't have to monitor it because you could just see it there. Like you could see the green just like ticking. And then once I turn the light off, it stops. So I'm like, all right, these bulbs are out. Yeah.
2.4 megahertz. 2.4 gigahertz.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Actually, Fuljens, this is a 4K.
No. So we showed it earlier. This is
it's a 1080.
This is a 1080. We're streaming 1080 right now. Whoops, wrong one.
Just go back to
1080. 1080 30.
Yep. Okay. Any more questions? Let's see, because we had some or comments.
I'm saving some of these comments here, unless you want to go.
Let's see if the comments related to it. Let's see, because we asked the question about the. Let's see.
No, that's for later.
Well, Robert says, when I turn my monitors on, it changes my light color and my background light strips. Yeah.
Interference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a great point that we didn't cover, but on video, this is definitely something. Once you turn your monitors on and all of that great stuff, all the light is going to interfere. It's going to give you a different hue. Do your white balancing after all of those things have been on, and see if that should help out.
Yes.
Yeah, keep the things.
Yes. And going back to internet connection, yes. So Tatiana recently learned from India how to make the Mac choose into Ethernet as a priority connection rather than Wi-Fi. So that's also I think we can do that here. Network preferences.
Oh, we're not on live demo mode.
Yeah, no. All right, cool. So now if we go into live demo mode, yeah, so up here, if you go to network preferences, this window will pop up here, and you have this list of your connections here. So we have, for example, Thunderbolt. This is the Cal Digit. This is where we have the Ethernet cable connected. So we have that at the top of the list here. You could keep the Wi-Fi there, but you could also move the Wi-Fi to the bottom of the barrel, just to make sure that the Ethernet is always priority. But just go to your preferences here in your Mac, network preferences. This window will pop up, and make sure that your Thunderbolt or your Ethernet cable is at the top of the list, and it's making sure that it prioritizes your Ethernet. I actually learned that from Doc.
Doc, yep.
Yeah. And
Doc.
I think Doc has his Wi-Fi at the bottom of the barrel, but I just keep them here. But because I know that Ethernet is always going to take priority.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything we can do, and that's definitely troubleshooting. I mean, okay. So let's go to monitor your stream platforms for error. This is something that we have been so spoiled because even though we do it, Paul is really good at it. Our amazing moderator, he's like, so you guys are supposed to be here? We're like, oh shoot. But it's great is monitor, because you will know, especially if you're, for example, multi-streaming, you want to know that your stream is going to all the platforms. And with Ecamm, there's an easy way, because you can just go and check it in there and see which channels are running in the live. The health of them. The health. So let's show that.
So up here, we have the eyeball here, right? And this is where we say, hey, 27 watching and only 6 thumbs up. Right? So you have the eyeball here, and you have the view broadcast status, and you can get like the health report of your stream. So Ecamm Live, and we're also on Ecamm Network LinkedIn, and we have them here. And also I'm not gonna click anything, but I think you're able to jump it. We're able to open up the window of where the stream is, and you can actually, let's say we know we're on LinkedIn, right, and we're monitoring, and we see something going wrong, or we want to end the stream early. We can end the stream early from here too. I think if we just click this, it will stop the stream, or there will be a warning or a notification saying, "Do you want to end the stream?" Whatever the case might be. So that is cool, because we did not. This is a Ecamm version 4 feature. We didn't have that before.
Yeah, and these are the things that when you do your tests, right? Because we don't want to do this right now because we right. But these are the things that when you do go to your live tests on a private group or anything like that, you can mess around with all of this, right? You can click, you can test, you can do whatever, because it is just a test stream. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so that is
yes. In addition to that, right? So that is one thing, right? The features in Ecamm, and we usually have windows open, right? So we're monitoring the YouTube feed from a separate monitor, and we like to monitor the LinkedIn feed on our phones and making sure that everything is running smoothly. Right now, we're not able to have LinkedIn comments coming in with Ecamm. So if a comment comes in through LinkedIn, we're monitoring it from our phones. Mm-hmm.
Which, yes. And Paul is helping us out also.
Yes.
But that's the great thing of having a moderator, everyone. I mean, this is one of the greatest. One of the greatest. Yeah. Okay, so that is, monitoring. So having your windows open with the platforms that you are streaming into, and then also just checking in here.
Yeah. And then it's great because this is helping you in, let's say, the stream stops or the stream is skipping. There was this one time, right, where was it? We were live, and then the stream switched to something else, right? But we wouldn't know that. We would have known that sooner than later had we not been monitoring the stream in real time.
You guys who were there, you did mention like, what's going on? What's happening? And then I was like, why is this not going through? But then Fuljens is like, what's going on? And we were able to see what was going on because we were monitoring the YouTube channel. Right.
Yeah. Before we got to notice it on the Ecamm end.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. That was very great troubleshooting.
Yeah.
Right there. Mm-hmm. That was great. So those are the things that that's the importance of having monitoring your stream. Your stream. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if we have any questions or comments about that segment. Okay.
And then we have some comments from earlier that we're going to address towards the end. Yes, we'll address that also, Earl, when we get to the audio part about the interference.
I know, right? Like audio is so like one of the biggest ones.
I get static with my wife. We can't help you. We cannot help you there.
Oh my God. Shoot.
I think that's a comment from Robert. I play videos all the time on my show and streams beautifully. Awesome. Good to know.
Nice.
Okay, I think here it is here. Just before going live, is there any way to test the destinations? Facebook, YouTube. I recently went live with a guest and there was an error connected to 2 Facebook pages. I had to delete the show.
Yeah, so you could do it by going private, right? Testing your streams privately. You can do that. We're jumping ahead because that was like step number 6. We're going to cover it, but you can definitely do it.
Yes,
we're going to cover
that in more detail later. So we're going to start that. Oh, Martin McKenna. Hello, Martin.
We're just reading in like, hey, Martin.
I maxed out the system memory by leaving everything on and not leaving enough space on the hard drive for stuff to cache in and out. Ecamm did not like that. Yeah. And that's a bonus one that I have for later. So we'll go over that as well. So I'm gonna start that. Okay. All right, we'll get to Marcus later.
We're marking all of your comments and questions for the.
Okay, cool. So we're good. So yes, we have a lot to cover towards the end.
I know. Listen, Paul. That we were streaming yesterday and we got an error about ISO video because of space. So we were like, "What in the world?" But Ecamm actually said, I'm not going to record your ISO video, but I'm going to record your stream, okay? So cool. And we were like, what? And yeah, so definitely closing all the apps and even having what happened yesterday on the stream. Yeah, that was a little scary, but we handled that.
Yeah, it was a traumatic notification.
It was twice. It was like,
you would have thought that the stream ended, but it did not.
As soon as you see the pop-up window with a red on it,
you think that the stream is done.
Yeah.
But it was saying that isolated video recording stopped because of an error. But thankfully, it stops the isolated video recording because of the error, but not ending the stream from the error itself. So that was good.
And Paul, your comment strike because I got an error for hard drive space on my laptop 2 weeks ago, and then I started transferring things, but I didn't finish. So maybe that had to do with it as well. Okay. I'm gonna send in the logs anyway, just so the guys can check it out. But yeah, that was because it was a traumatic experience.
Repent or Die podcast from BK. Good to see you here.
Hello.
Awesome. All right. What do we have next?
Okay, so
'Cause
next.
then we're going to get to a lot of Q&A towards the end.
Yes, so next we have update software and plugins, you guys. This is huge. Not only updating, right? If you're using, for example, any plugins on your iPhone, and you're using it, right? Updating Ecamm, right? Or update the software, keep it up to date. And I know that this can be just like, oh, I'll update it later. I am completely guilty of that, right? I'll update it later because I'm doing something. But there was a feature, right, that was updated, and I'm like, why am I not able to interact with the widget when it's locked? I want to lock it, and that was an update.
A post version 4
Yeah,
update.
a post version 4 update, and then Fuljens is like, what version of Ecamm are you running? And I'm like, oh, and that was it. So make sure that you update Ecamm. It's easy. Just go to Ecamm preferences, check for updates, and it's updated.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
you got the latest version because the guys are checking for errors, for things that are happening. So chances are that's taken care of.
So Anna and I, we made a pact because her native version of Ecamm Live on her iMac in the studio where we stream for ENN on Mondays, I'm not allowed to touch that. I'm not allowed to update that. So I can update beta at will. So what I do is every Monday before ENN, I make sure, like, if Ken and Glenn do release a stream, I'll make sure that version is updated. For example, the widgets, you could lock the widget overlays in the overlays panel, and you could still interact with it. Before you couldn't do that. So I have the updated version. I make sure I use the updated version and go live using the beta versus a previous version of the native Ecamm that I'm not allowed to touch.
The thing with me,
it works perfectly.
Right. The thing is, like, if I don't need it, I don't update it. And this is because sometimes, you guys, for real, there have been some apps where the features that they had before the update worked beautifully. Like, you got some new features, especially for editing photos for me. And then they release an update, this app, and all of a sudden it takes away the benefits that I had, and it gives me something else. And then if I want the benefits of that, then I have to pay for a subscription. So that's why I'm like, so that's why for me, it's like, if I don't need what the update is, whatever they did, I don't update, right? When I need it, then I'm like, okay, I have no choice. I'm going to update. But that's right. So Fuljens has that right away for Ecamm Live Beta, because that's what beta is, testing and making sure that everything goes. And then my native version stays still unless something is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we
getting to the big one.
Update. Yeah.
We're getting to the big one.
That's updating. So make sure you update. For example, if you have any apps that you use, for example, you have Camo that you use with make sure you update Camo. If you have any other app that you're going to bring in, what is the other one that is very popular? The SnapCam.
I don't use SnapCam.
But that's popular with other people. Update that as well so that it can be, your iOS version, right? Your macOS version. Update it as well. If there is something that is, everything is copacetic, right? Everything is.
And speaking of updates, so when we get to audio, got some.
Do we have any questions about updating software or any stories?
We just have a bet from Al to give me $100 if I mess with your computer. So the thing is, Al, I have to ask myself, is that $100 worth my life? So that's what I want to know. Is it worth it? And maybe if we add a few extra zeros.
Really?
Gretchen says, I never use my native version. I will only use, yes.
Good for you. Good for you guys. Good for you. Good for you guys. This is why sometimes Fuljens will be like, why does your native version works better? And I'm like, I don't know. I just have a thing, right? But now it's being very good, like very good. The beta version.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we're done with the update. Do we have any questions about that?
No. No, we're good with that.
Okay. Are we marking this?
We're marking it.
Okay. Marine X, we will get to you. Okay, so now the most popular one, everyone. Here we go. Yes, check your audio settings for proper configuration. This is where everything is at. Proper configuration. Fuljens is a passionate advocate for audio stuff.
So next week, Fuljens will be in a podcast. So the number one best practice that we like to do before every stream, it doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
You know, either you're streaming or recording. Whenever you turn on Ecamm and before you hit whatever button you're gonna hit, this is what we like to do, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go into
even if you're using Zoom. I mean,
even if you're using Zoom,
doesn't matter. If audio is involved, yes.
Even more importantly with Zoom. So this is what we do. So we go into our system preferences and making sure that our audio interfaces are correct, right? So output, Ecamm Live app audio, and jump to that. That's fine. But we're using the Rodecaster Pro. So we have our output set to Rodecaster Pro and our input set to Rodecaster Pro. That is for us, right? Because Ecamm is going to send out its sound levels there. It's sending out the Rodecaster Pro and all these things there that you see there in the sound levels. But for you, the producer, the streamer, make sure that your input and output is set before you hit that record button or go live button. Because sometimes where we think that we're all set and we're playing something, either like our microphone sounds off or we play a sound effect and it's coming through the speaker and whatnot. You know, you may not hear that on the audience, but we're hearing that. So that is so important, right? Regardless of what Ecamm is sending out, make sure for you that you have your input and output set properly in the your system preferences. Go to sound settings and make sure that these two are set correctly.
And this is so important to not only for us, but only for your guests, also for your guests. Your guests need to do the same thing, because sometimes, and this is what they go, okay, I can hear you, or we're getting feedback because they are wearing monitors, but the output is to their speaker. So we're hearing that. And so we have to make sure that we tell them, hey, your output needs to be to your headphones and all of that, right? So just make sure of that. And this setting configuration is so, so important that when this is something that happened to me, right? When my customers come in to look at their photos, and I have a whole slideshow with like sound bar and all of these great things happening for audio. The audio wasn't coming through. The audio was coming through my laptop. And Fuljens and I are troubleshooting this. And we're like, is it the cable? Is it because of this? We changed cables. Fuljens gave me his speaker, the boom thing.
External speaker.
He gave me an external speaker. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I want a great experience for them. This is not a great experience. And we are just out of, And then Fuljens goes, let's check the audio settings. The audio settings were not correct. It was not being sent to the soundbar. As soon as we just checked that, voila. This is how important it is. So all your audio issues, first, check the audio settings on your Mac and see if you're sending the audio to the right place. And this only happens with live experience.
Yes.
That was not good. I couldn't sleep that day.
Yeah.
But we figured it out.
Yeah.
Another thing, Fuljens, go ahead.
No, and same thing with Zoom. I just think about when you're going to Zoom. Before I start a Zoom call, before I even turn on the camera, I go to audio and Zoom and make sure that my microphone and speaker is set to in my case, the microphone and the mixer or whatnot, but also Ecamm Live has virtual mic. If you want to use that, that's fine too. But that's the first thing I go to before I start a Zoom call.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if this will be relevant for you all, but just in case, one time Fuljens and I were using two audio interfaces because I had my microphone that I just wanted to check my volume and I wanted to actually just monitor my own audio instead of Fuljens having to do it. So we were like, okay, so now we have this audio interfaces and now what do we do? And then we were trying to look into where do we send the audio settings to, and then Doc came over and Doc said, Ecamm will handle that part. You just go and send it in Ecamm. So on the sound levels, you will see the Rodecaster Pro, and then you will see the other audio interface. For us at that point, it was a P4. So we will see both of them, and then Ecamm was handling all of it. But we did set the audio settings to Ecamm. So I think we sent it to, what did we send it to? We sent it to the Rodecaster Pro? Where was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's with the two audio interfaces, it gets a little trickier, and you might need something like a loop back or something like that. Or whatever.
But we didn't need that.
I just don't remember because.
Yeah, we didn't need that, but just in case, but it can be handled. You can have two audio interfaces and then manage that inside of Ecamm sound levels.
Right. And even when you're using something like Restream, right? Because when we're let's say the times that we do use Restream, Ecamm handles the audio too. Ecamm will send the audio out to Restream, and you don't have to worry about it on your end. But on our end, we just have to make sure that our system preferences are set properly. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's audio, everyone. And then when you're live, right? And then people go, which has happened to us probably twice in all the time that we've been, right? People go, what's wrong with your microphone, you guys? Sound like you're not plugged in. It sounds far away. It sounds like you are using the system audio. It sounds like all of that. While live, we went to the audio settings. We checked it out.
Yeah.
Sure enough, it was not routed properly. We routed it properly, and there we go.
That's literally like the first place we check.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, Paul was having a senior moment. Paul
Wait,
said,
a
"I
senior
can't."
moment?
Paul's like, "I can't hear anything," because he's moderating while we were in the countdown at ENN, and then he sent us a message in Slack. "I can't hear anything."
Oh yeah.
We're like, "What?"
What?
Because
Yeah.
everything sounds fine on our end. We hear like our sound levels are okay, but you know what? The first thing we go to is system preferences. But it was Paul. It was on Paul. That's why I said Paul.
It was a Paul setting.
Setting. Yeah, it was the Paul settings.
Yeah, Audacia, we're gonna address that shortly. So
Yes.
just mark that. Okay. So yeah, that's just check your audio settings. That's the first thing. And obviously, if you're muted, it's just a mute button. You just have to unmute yourself.
And regardless of what you're using, so Tatiana said, I'm not at that level for audio yet, no audio interface, but regardless of what you're using, whether you're using the speaker, your microphone built into your Mac, or you just have a USB device connected directly like Victor mentioned earlier, it's always good practice to do that, because you never want your Mac to default to something you don't want it to default to, like your MacBook Pro speaker, for example, right? You want to make sure that you have the correct settings.
Yeah. And that at the beginning, when I first started streaming with Ecamm and I was using different mics, that was another thing. Also, I have to make sure, and then the mic that I had allowed me to also monitor the stream. So I had to choose the mic for both monitoring and for the speaker, for speaking and monitoring the stream. And I had to route that properly as well. So it's even, the audio settings is where it's at. I guess it's just that. If there's a problem there, check your audio settings first before changing cables or doing anything else. That is true. That is true, Paul.
All right. So we saved quite a few. So we want to go over these.
Yes, let's do this, and we'll have the checklist for you towards the end. Yeah. Paul has a great link that is a work in progress. We will keep updating it, but you will have this. So every time we update something, it will be there, and you just do a refresh, and you will be able to see. If you have any suggestions for us after you receive the checklist, please feel free to send it to us. Our email is also in the document, so you can make any suggestions, as well as if you would like us to cover anything else in the future about any issues, troubleshooting that you have had, and you would like more information about it, feel free to send us an email as well, so that we can keep updating that document.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go, Fuljens Henry.
All right. So Kenesha, this is part of like a two-part comment. Kenesha was mentioning about like her audio was delayed, right? So if you're referring to your microphone audio delay, we can definitely address that in Ecamm. If we go to system preferences and go to audio, you have this mic delay down here under automatically mute microphone and guest during video playback. So ours right now is set to 0 because we usually don't have any mic delay issues, but you can delay mic audio by X amount of frames by using this there. So
yeah, we had to do that with, was it the OU mic? We had to adjust the delay.
USB mic, yeah.
Yeah, we have, for one of my mics, I had to adjust the delay. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. And let me see here. So Kimberly, yes, I've been having an error with files and scenes not being located.
That has to do with, for example, if you had a file in one location and when you worked on your scenes, right? And then you moved that file somewhere else from the original place, Ecamm won't be able to find it, right? So you have to then tell Ecamm where the file is again for it to find it.
Yeah.
This we cover extensively on organizing, and this is where all of the files, we have done a stream on that. We've covered organization. So when you're working on your streams, on your whatever it is that you're doing, your video, you're recording, have all your files in one folder and then break it down. So for example, you have photos, you have videos, you have graphics, have your videos in one folder so that no matter what, whether you update the video itself, for example, you come back, it comes back there, you know where to find it, Ecamm knows where to find it because it will always be in the same folder.
Yeah. And the files that will do that are most likely video files, right? Because your overlays, whether it's PNGs, logos,
because they're internal
animated overlays, those will,
they're saved inside.
Those are saved there.
Yeah.
But the video files, those are the ones where you're definitely going to have to relocate.
The root probably is Ecamm Live, blah, 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 or desktop, blah, 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 whatever you save it. And for the overlays is inside of Ecamm. So you can move overlays anywhere.
Yeah.
And they will still be there.
And they'll still be there, yes.
But videos.
Marcus, can you use a Focusrite audio interface from mics while playing music through the MacBook speakers when going live? Yes, you can use the Focusrite audio interface for your microphone, and you can play the music through
Yeah.
What do you mean by playing the music through the MacBook speakers? I don't think Ecamm will pick that up, right? Unless we add that as a sound level in.
When we do that for our streams, for for our productions, where the customers can hear it.
Right, but we're playing it inside of Ecamm, right?
Right.
So, Marcus, best practice is if you're doing this, right, and you want to play music separately from, because the Focusrite, for example, let's say you're not playing music to Focusrite, add your music to the sound effects panel and play it from there. So once we have it here, right? Right, so you could just play everything there. I think that's the best way to go about it. Unless if you have you have the music on your phone, then you connect that to your audio interface and you could play it through there. And you could connect your phone to Ecamm and Ecamm will pick that up. You could play stuff from your iPhone directly to Ecamm if you have your iPhone connected directly to Ecamm. You could play music off of there.
So you just want to hear the music in your speakers, in the external speakers, right?
Or do you want the audience to hear it?
Right.
Right.
So what is that? Okay. Next.
Yes. Robert says, I would love it if you could mix all your Ecamm audio channels through Rodecaster Pro 2. I am still having to manually mix, which stinks. And there was a Paul had put up a comment earlier, and I think Robert, you might benefit from this as well. Our good friend Alec Johnson, Take One Tech, has a lot of videos related to Rodecaster Pro 2, right? So make sure you visit his YouTube channel to check that out, because Alec gets very advanced with we're going like very basic on our Roadcasters, right? We have our mics, we have sound effects, and
that's it.
That's it.
But hey, when we do productions where we have to, like Marcus, you were saying, so we have a speaker and we want to send audio out and we want to have something else, then that's when the Rodecaster goes like, technical. Yeah, we get technical with Rodecaster Pro.
But for live streaming, you know, we're here, we're talking to you all. We just need our mics and our.
We can even do this. we can even do what we're doing with a P4, with a Zoom P4 easily. It can handle.
Yeah, including audio out. You could send audio out to an external speaker on a smaller device like a Zoom P4 as well.
Yeah, and it's so cute and so nice to work with.
All right, Michael or Michelle. I have problems to understand the best way to screen share. It loses so much when sending a screen to Zoom, even when I do it from another monitor.
So loses video quality.
When you screen share, are you referring to the screen share from Ecamm to Zoom? You know, I never used that feature, right? So under
screen share to Zoom.
Yeah. So even though I have it turned on. So in Ecamm output, we have sharing window on. Let's see, what's this? Let's go. Hold on. We're going to learn this together right now. Ecamm Live sharing window feature can be used to send Ecamm Live output into Zoom. This is an alternative for using the virtual camera and may provide a higher resolution when screen sharing. So Michelle, are you using this feature? Because supposedly you have a higher resolution. I don't use this. Yeah. You know, you don't use it for Zoom either, right?
No.
We like to use virtual camera directly and just share everything that way. Yeah.
So is perhaps he using this feature because he's on the standard version of Ecamm?
I don't know.
Is that what it is, Mitchell? That you're using this because you're standard version of Ecamm? Because what would be the benefits of using this instead of the high quality or?
Yeah, I don't know, because I know that when we're using virtual camera in Zoom, it works good, right?
Yeah.
Another thing, it could be a Zoom issue. It could be the Zoom resolution.
And this could potentially be a level 10 question for Doc today on Ecamm Live demo. Yeah.
Yes, yet it's still far behind screen sharing directly in Zoom. Yeah, and that's what I like to do. For when using Ecamm with Zoom, I know you do the same thing. We use virtual camera. We use virtual camera, but for screen sharing purposes, I mean, Zoom screen sharing feature it works just fine. Yeah. You know, why reinvent the wheel with that? And sharing windows or sharing specific apps and also sharing audio, all that works well. But if you want to do something like this, right, where we have our overlays here, we're bringing in comments, that's where we use the virtual camera and everything works perfectly like that.
Yeah. Great question, though. You got us go into ecamm.com.
Great question. All right. Earl Hall, right? One of the things that can cause interference is having your audio cables overlapping power cables. Yes. I am a living testament to that because I've been reconfiguring the studio many times, and now on like one of the final configurations, I have the Rodecaster Pro off to the side here, and I made sure that the XLR cables are not touching any of the power cables because that static noise will drive you crazy, and you're kind of like hoping that's the problem and not something else like Wi-Fi bulbs. So that is super important. Yes. Robert had a Q colon. Just before going live, is it? Oh yeah, we did. And we were saying we're gonna elaborate on that, right? Yeah. Yes. Going live, and also Ecamm allows you to do that too. Well, if you do going live to one destination, you could set it up a private stream. But it's if you have a private YouTube channel, like go live privately there, and if you want to have an additional stream, maybe going live to like a private group or something like that, right?
It's like we have our own group. You feel free to always go there. It's Anna and Fuljens on Facebook, and you can go and test your streams there. If you would like to also test it on Ecamm Live group, just make sure that you write a description and you say this is me testing, but that would be to the public. It's not going to be, but we will help you. Like if you want comments coming in, if you're testing that, if you're testing a lot of other things, you can do it from there. But if you just want to test the stream resolution, the how everything's looking, the audio, go into your own private Facebook or your own private YouTube. So you can just click test stream or whatever Facebook calls. I don't know what Facebook calls it now, but there is an option to do that. Yeah. And then that's where you can find, like Paul told us, like, this is where we find most of our stuff.
Multiple,
Because sometimes we do a recording and we think like, oh yeah, everything is good. If it's completely different, because recording, you're local, right? You're local. You're contained. As soon as you shoot it out, that's when things are gonna happen. So that's when you're gonna test your stream. That's your internet connection. That's where you're gonna test the video quality going out. This is where we're gonna test everything, right? So it's different than just doing a test recording than going live on a private test.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then Martin McKenna, I've maxed out the system memory by leaving everything on and not leaving enough space on the hard drive. Yep. And another practice too, maybe not every week, but like often than not doing it at all, is to clearing your cache.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I think for me, I created a shortcut for that. So if we go into demo mode.
Don't clean cache right
I'm not.
now.
No. But I create a shortcut because for me, I don't know. Like I'm not like, oh, I don't know exactly where to go and get the cache. But I'm like, I found it. I created a shortcut. I added favorite, so I know every time I go there, I just do Command A and just delete all them suckers, and then empty your trash. So once you delete the cache, take out the trash.
Oh, that's that.
I kind of sword rhyming, so I had to finish it. And then you'll notice that, like, that'll help with your system memory. You'll clear up a lot of space, and then also maybe just reset your computer also after you clear out the cache.
Yeah, for
take out the trash.
To add on to that, what I also do is, sometimes we download things and we do another revision of it. We do multiple revisions. We don't need all of those revisions. So we go on, I delete everything that I don't need from my download folder, because that can get huge.
Yeah.
Another spot is also the desktop, because we either default it to downloads or we go to the desktop. And I delete that from there. I do that about twice a week. Sometimes I do it more if I have been working on a lot of projects on the same time. Yeah. So.
And then Doc got me this for Christmas.
That got it to us for like, even you got one, Paul, right? Yeah.
So what I've been doing with this is all of my Ecamm live recordings, I'm transferring them over. I transfer them over from this because I usually been just recording them locally. And I cleared all that stuff off the Mac. So all the recordings are going directly into the external hard drive.
And it's so fast too. Like oh my gosh. It's very
speedy.
fast. It just transferred all of your videos. I had like about 7 1.5 hour streams on my laptop, and it transferred it. Yeah.
It zips through.
Very, very quickly.
Yes.
So that is a great little cutie.
Little cutie.
Super cute. Look at how small that is, you guys. Look at this. Wait, I don't want to unplug it.
No.
So you do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. Like,
I don't think it's like focusing somewhere else, but that's
fine. Well, that's fine.
It's a SanDisk. It's a SanDisk.
It's cute. You can bring that anywhere.
Yeah. So Marcus says, when I go live with a stream link, I cannot read the comments. How can I fix it? Because he was mentioning going live to, I think you said YouTube, because you should be able to see the comments on YouTube.
Stream link. So
yeah, there was something else he mentioned there, but like,
could it be
Marcus,
like restream, copy link, share?
I don't know, but
Marcus clarified for us.
Because we're able to see the comments, right? I don't think there's a list. Paul might know. Is there a list of the places where we cannot read comments right now natively with Ecamm? LinkedIn is one of them. Amazon, we can see comments now because, there's a workaround, but it's very simple to do. And Doc has a video on that on the Ecamm Live YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, where are you going live? When I go live, what platform are you going live on that you cannot read comments?
Right. Because If you're still here, Marcus. All right, cool. Marine X, what's up? Is there a way to put a 1 or 2 second video within the background of a scene and put me in a squircle in the foreground while the video plays? Yes, you absolutely can.
1 or 2 second video within the background.
So, for example, Marine wants to have a video playing in the background, right? So as like a video background, and then he wants to be the camera over the background.
But he's saying 1 or 2 second video. That's quick.
Looping.
Remember when we try adding that and it will not let us play?
All right, so I think you're hanging on the 2 second part. So maybe if it's longer, Marcus, if the 2 second doesn't work, go a little longer than that.
No, because the reason why we're saying that, Marine, is because one time we had a 5 second video. And we can import.
No, but he's referring to not. I know what you're referring to. You're referring to like playing as a video.
Yeah.
I think he's referring to like an animated background. So for example,
so animated background. Okay.
Right. So like this. So let's say this was this is actually showing in all scenes. So let's just bring the right. So this is a video. Like what? How many seconds is this? Like right. 3 or 4 seconds, for example.
It's
right.
an animated background.
Yeah. And then we bring our camera over it. And then you could, have that as a squircle or whatever you want to do.
Squircle it.
Let's right. So, but we have this looping. So make sure it's looping because 2 seconds is going to be quick and it's going to stop right away. So let me just Command Z all this stuff because I have multiple stuff going on here. But yes, you could absolutely do that.
Okay.
That works. All right. Another question. Can you send out system audio while using your main camera scene? Can you send out system audio while using your main camera scene?
You can send out system audio for anything.
Scene.
Yeah. In any scene, like it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless of what scene you're in,
you
can send out your system audio. The only thing in regards to audio was very important is when you're playing, because you're thinking that Marine X was talking about movies, so that's what reminded me. So when you're playing a movie, you want to be unmuted. There's a setting in Ecamm that allows you to, talk over the movie file, not to be confused with the animated overlay like we just played earlier, right? A movie file. So let's go into system preferences real quick and show you that, because that's something that like stumps us a lot of the times too, even regardless of how many times it happens. So here under, I believe it's under audio. Where is it? Yeah, we have it checked off right now. So it's right here above mic delay, automatically mute microphone and guest audio during video playback. So if you have a movie file playing, and once you go to that scene, you're going to be muted unless this thing is unchecked. Right? So it says the microphone will be muted in video playback mode with no picture-in-picture. Don't mind all that. Just know that your microphone will be muted when the video is playing.
And even if you unmute it,
it will.
Even if you unmute it, because that's what happens to us. I'm like unmuting it, and then I go again, and then when it goes back to the scene, there it is muted, because in system preferences, that's going to take precedence.
Yeah.
So we go to system preferences and we click that on, and then we go back and we have to restart Ecamm, come back, and then it takes effect. But that was something, because I was like, I want to talk over the movie.
Yeah. So a quick follow-up. So it is what you were referring to. Let me see. Let me go through it quick. So he says, I'm referring to a video. So as Anna mentioned, you might want to make it a little longer than 1 or 2 seconds, because when you're playing a video, you might want it a little longer, because we've had experience where a 1 or 2 second video is not going to play or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
But yes, you can absolutely do that. So if you have a movie playing, because the best way to explain this would be go to live demo mode, right? And let's say we're on a blank scene. Your source, instead of blank or camera, will be a video file, right? You'll be the video file. But then you still have access to your overlays panel here. This is where you'll add cameras and stuff on top of the video itself, right? But just remember what we just mentioned, because if you want to talk over the video file, make sure that thing is checked off because you will be muted, brother.
Yeah. Here we there, like doing your thing and the best speech ever.
Yeah.
And it will not be heard.
Right.
Not be heard, I'm telling
And
you.
you could totally play jazz getting thrown out of the house by Will's Uncle Phil while you're in the background. Yes, you could do all that. You could do all that. Yes, you can.
Yep.
Right side of Ecamm. All right. Bunk is asking, are the type of mics important and what type of mics you're both using? Definitely important in terms of, because
Quality?
we learn a lot from like just being co-hosts and sitting next to each other and using different microphones, right? So there's a time where you have a Lewitt and I'm using a SM7B, for example, and the audio kind of like is spilling over. And then while we're live, we've done everything. We've checked out system preferences and everything. But here's the audience. Anna sounds far away. Why does it sound like the mic is muted or whatever the case might be?
Yeah.
It just happens that our microphones that we're using are right next to each other. And let's say you turn around like this or whatever, depends on the type of mic. Like I like to talk close to my mic. You like to move around. So you move away from the microphone and you start talking, and your audio is actually my mic is actually picking up your audio versus that microphone.
Yeah.
So there's a lot involved, but you learn a lot that from practicing and like, we're in the studio together in close range and we're able to like troubleshoot those things.
But two Shure microphones will work perfectly next to each other.
Two SM7Bs or SM7B and a pod mic, because those are like the dynamic mics together work pretty well, right? But now from experience, you like to be hands-free.
Yeah.
Even without like a lapel.
The lapel was good, but the thing is like it limits the clothes style I can wear. So there are different tricks on how you can just put it. Like for our clients, we put it for the ladies under the shirt and then we tape it and all of that. But then for us, when we try doing it, it's like, it's like we don't have the patience for it or something. I don't know. But it's easier to just have
a shotgun.
Right.
So
mic.
with that said, so I'm using this SM7B, and Anna has a Sennheiser MKE 600 shotgun, and there's an articulating arm. So the articulating arm, we have two monitors here, and underneath the camera, there's the MacBook Pro. So this monitor has an articulating arm mounted behind the monitor, and the shotgun is coming. It's like right here, right out of the frame. So it's like really close and giving really good sound.
Yeah, but still, like if I was taller, you guys will be able to hear me better. So you can hear the difference between where it is located and where I am sitting.
It's still good. It wasn't that much.
It's still good, but you guys, Fun just keeps saying like no, but I'm like the closer you get to the mic, the better it is, because he had this mic way
it was
over
further
there.
last
and
week.
I'm like, cuz, like, bring it closer. So it's like, okay.
And now it's closer.
Testing. No, wait. Testing.
Anyway, yes. To answer your question, yes. We had a comment I say from Gretchen. I add checking the sound levels panel. I've had everything set correctly, but had my mic set on mute on my sound levels. I call that my double secret spy mute.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, there was also one here that I would mute on the Stream Deck, and I'd be like, "What the heck?"
And that's something that we did not cover. So before you go live is to run through your entire run of show and check the sound levels on every single scene and make sure we're not on mute and we don't have to live by the Ecamm you're on mute hoodie, because we've done that several times.
And this is something, because even when we do that, so we do that for ENN every single Monday, we run through the scenes, but there's always one scene that we just had to adjust. We redid the scene, or a scene was copied from a scene that was already muted, and there it is. And then we can't hear you. And we're like,
Yeah. And when we have a countdown, we usually mute ourselves during the countdown. And then when we're doing a demo and we're going to the countdown and we're talking about, oh, this is what we did here, we forgot that we were muted there. And we're just like basically going through our presentation, forgetting that we muted ourselves during the countdown.
yeah.
So Just make sure you check that. And pronounce
Horacio Acosta.
Horacio
Acosta. Gracias,
Yes.
Horacio. Yes, this is something that has been happening to us, and we narrowed it down. We did send our logs to the Ecamm team, and they are and they are checking on that. But Fuljens and I narrowed it down to, and again, do not quote us on this. This is our own troubleshooting. The guys will put up a release whenever they figure it out. But we narrowed it down to an Intel versus an M1 problem.
Yeah, or M. A
silicon
problem,
one, right?
Yeah.
Because it happens just on our Intel computers. When we are on my M1, smooth selling, like smooth, like nothing happens, and so that's what.
And we also notice it too when we go, like what triggers it is when we go into live demo mode. And then it just continues doing it from there.
I don't know.
Or does it start it from the, so you notice from the start of the video. Because we're and that's another thing about monitoring your streams. You get to pick up on things like that because we're looking at the stream now and we are noticing that it's glitching periodically.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've noticed that on the Intels and not on the
what I was thinking, you guys, the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if that had to do with the UFO that came down. Because it's a glitch in the system.
I think it's been happening before the UFOs.
But they were already in transit, you know? So like their frequency, just like your Wi-Fi bulbs, Fuljens Henry.
So the UFOs don't like Intel Max.
The Intel Max just cannot handle that frequency. That's probably what it is. I mean.
All right. Let's make sure. A lot of comments came in while we were doing the Q&A.
Okay.
Let's make sure. Yeah, so Kimberly said, yes, it was video file. So, yes. Okay, so that's
nice.
Exactly what was going on there.
So, once you said it, don't change it. If you need to change it, then you know how to find it again.
Dr. Omar, hello.
Hello, Dr. Omar.
Hey, Body Spray Bandit. Good to see you here.
Hank, what's up?
Good to see you
here.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to next week as well.
And then I think Paul mentioned to check out Alec Johnson to Dr. Omar about the Rodecaster Pro.
Yeah, and an Ecamm Live Advance is coming up soon, everyone. And remember, to all the news, everything that's happening in the world of Ecamm was coming up. Yeah. We cover it on Ecamm Network News on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. And we have some great gifts, trivias as well. So if you have not made it there, go ahead
and then like speaking of like a Rodecaster Pro troubleshooting, USB mix minus, that is like the first thing that just basically that's been the cause of so many things. USB mix minus is not activated on the Rodecaster Pro and it just contributes to so many other problems.
And this is the thing that for me, because I stream one show personally, right? Just one show. So I don't need a Rodecaster Pro for that. I use my P4. My P4 gives me no problems. It's like as soon as Fuljens is like, hey, this might be good for you. So I'm like, okay, let me try this. I know that guy. And actually, by learning that audio interface, I'm able to tackle the Rodecaster Pro when I have to, because that's a smaller version of the Rodecaster Pro.
Yes.
And it allows me to use, my external music if I wanted to, plug it into an external speaker. It allows me to plug in up to 4 mics. It's great. It's a great little interface.
Yes. And Horacio, yes, it's not the Cam Link for sure.
Yeah.
Because, for example, right, and that's the beauty of monitoring your streams. We are monitoring the streams, but we're also monitoring our Ecamm. We have a program window open right here where we see everything. We're coming in nice and sharp. We're not glitching, so it is something after the fact when we're streaming with the UFOs and all that good stuff. So it will be solved. The team is working on it.
They're definitely working on it because they keep seeing they watch our streams, so they're like, hey, we saw something in there. Send me the logs, and then we did, and then again, Ken was watching our stream, and he's like, hey, you guys, send it to me again. We send it to them, so we're gonna send them the one from yesterday that was nice and smooth, and see if there is a difference there.
Yeah, and then Michelle, when we use the virtual camera, we just use the virtual camera. I don't know if you're using that, but virtual camera, everything, just the graphics, everything are well maintained there when we're using the virtual camera inside Ecamm. So this entire broadcast here, we bring that into Zoom. But if it's coming unclear in Zoom, I think that's a Zoom issue, right? In terms of the Zoom resolution.
Maybe check the Zoom resolution.
Because Ecamm, you're pushing out, what, 4K, 1080, and then some Zoom people in Zoom have like what's that less than 720p resolution. If you're on like a basic Zoom plan, you know, so
yeah. If you guys have not, just check with your Zoom rep, because I'm pretty sure you have a Zoom rep, just like Fuljens had a Zoom rep, and
if you have a company plan,
company plan,
yes,
yeah.
And then they'll get you the 1080p.
Yeah.
Tyler, good to see you here.
Oh my gosh, Tyler, what's up?
Finally downloaded the new version of Ecamm. Congratulations. Enjoy. Funny side note, I have a Stream Deck and download the Ecamm Stream Deck profile, but I'm used to not having one, and I forgot to use it during my live learning.
Yeah, we definitely get you the 10, and we know what you're talking about.
Yes.
But you missed a comment from Tyler. Tyler goes, "This setting is a vibe."
Thank you so much, Tyler.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, Tyler.
Thank you. Another Q colon here. One problem I'm having during lives is that the formatting for comments in Ecamm don't stick when they reset to a default, even when I think I've changed them. What am I missing? The formatting from the comments.
So you get your comments and you get them, the way you want them, and then when they go back, they default to adjusting.
Maybe the color or so for example, let's say where our comments are this gold color here with black font, our comments change from different profiles, right? And then also let's say we were to end the stream here and then we have Tatiana's comment and then we change it to blue. That doesn't necessarily mean that when we go live, it's going to stay. Yeah. What we like to do, a good practice is to do a practice stream and then type the comment and then edit it. The next time you go live, it will stay like that, right? So like it needs, I think the comment needs to be edited while live. Yeah, or formatted
because
while
sometimes
live.
It works. Like I have done it, and it has sticked with the entire profile.
Yeah.
The color, even I did it before, and then when I go live, it keeps. However, we all have waiting screens, and one of the reasons why we have waiting screens is to allow the streams to render and all of that great stuff, but also to fix anything that we might have missed, and that is comments. So you can just feel free to check the comments and change the colors real quick
during the waiting screen. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, we actually did that yesterday on our live production. The comments were all the way up, and we just brought them down, and there it is. Because we won't see those things until we go live.
Yeah. Yes. How do you manage profiles in Ecamm? Keep many in one profile? Is it bad to have too many? Should you only have a few? Curious about best practice. You can have as many profiles as you want. The more the merrier, depending on the different presentations and use cases and whatnot.
But wait, because Tatiana is saying keep many in one profile.
Meaning like folders. Like different run of shows and stuff, right? So, for example, I'm in one profile for BuildingBlocks, and I have several groups here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups. But again, the reason why the groups are here in this profile is because we're gonna come and use them or refer to them on any given case. But if let's say we're ENN is gonna have a separate profile, or we're doing something for a customer, it's gonna have a separate profile. Yeah. You don't want to mix them.
Yeah.
Keep them separate.
So we have a profile per customer. And then inside the profile, we have season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, and then we have episodes in there. So we have season 1, episode 2, season 1, episode. So we have all of that under one profile. So you can keep as many scenes, as many seasons, I guess, under one profile. But if it's for different shows and you have different everything for it, then create a new profile.
Yeah. And the only thing I noticed that with the profiles, the beefier they get, the more resources that you have on that profile, they take longer to load. Yeah. They take longer to load. Paul can attest to that.
And that's a great thing, the great point, because for the songs, for example, I have specific songs for one specific customer.
Profiles,
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, I will have 5 songs here. I don't need the rest of the songs for it, especially if we have to export it, like Fuljens and Paul experienced.
Yeah, so your sound effects, and the songs that you add on your sound effects, we have a few songs here that if I go to the Ecamm profile, that song is not going to be there, right? And let's say the Ecamm profile has 2 songs, it's going to load a lot quicker than the BuildingBlocks one, which has tons of songs here. So that's a very, very good question.
And that's another thing, deleting those songs that you're not using because those songs take a lot of space.
Resources, yes.
Yeah.
Paul Dixon.
Paul!
I have 695 items in the trash.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Listen, Paul. Yes. Paul Dixon.
Yes. Kimberly Gunn got the T7 for Christmas and loves it.
All right.
Michael Kinney.
Hello, Michael.
We have a notification here. Stream quality updated, and then it went away. So I don't know what just happened.
Stream quality updated?
So let's see. But again, these are the things that happen, right? When you're live, Ecamm will send you these interesting notifications, but you keep it cool because right now we're monitoring the stream. The stream is still running, and it's showing that we're at 1080.
Yeah, let's check this. And actually,
and also too, we're in our program window. It shows we're 1080/30. And we're clicking on the little eyeball that we showed you earlier. And we have 37 on YouTube, and LinkedIn is there doing its thing. So we are still good. But, it's just it's to keep it cool.
We've never gotten that before, though.
I get it sometimes. Especially,
that has been updated?
Especially,
has been...
your streaming quality has been updated.
Oh,
but I don't know. It didn't drop it. Usually when that notification comes up, it means that, your internet connection is failing because there's a blizzard going on outside and it's gonna drop from 1080 to 720, but we're still at 1080 right now.
You know what? We should have NDI real quick, or the camera, so we can show that it's shining. The shining out there is.
We'll post a picture later. So Michael was asking, should you record locally then transfer to external drive, or record directly to external drive?
Great question, Michael.
Take it away.
Great question. I will record locally first, right? You have your resources, you record locally. Then you export it once you're done. So for example, you record it and then you go into edit. You have everything local so everything can work smoothly for you because it's just in the same space. After you're done and you have rendered your file and you have taken out your file and you have just uploaded, done everything that you need to do, then you export all of that media to an external hard drive to save it. And then you keep your main computer nice and clean.
Yeah.
Yes. That would be what I would do and what you're starting to do.
Yeah, the same thing. Because you never know. I don't know. I just get paranoid and I'm afraid that the external hard drive might disconnect or something like that. But I know it's going locally and I could worry about that later. Yeah. Right? Or I take that worry off my mind.
And it just works better because you're doing it locally. If you have the resources, right?
Yes, yes. Yes, Marine X, you cannot see comments with Instagram yet. That's one of the other platforms where the comments do not show.
Every time I see Marine, I want to see Marine. It's not, it could be Marine X.
I think Paul mentioned to Marcus to contact support with the comment issue that they're having. Robert says I play a loop in my background and it plays perfectly. Yes, so looping the animated overlays. But Marine also was referring to the video. We addressed that earlier. Paul Dixon is saying that if you're doing animated backgrounds, I would make them a little bit longer than 2 to 3 seconds. It won't make any loop jumps. When it comes to animated backgrounds, absolutely.
Yep.
Paul told reach out to support. Yes, Marcus says will do. Just going through here. Christina.
Hello,
good
Christina.
Morning. And love using Ecamm live on Amazon. Yes.
Oof. Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes.
And it's awesome. It gets better and better each time the team updates Ecamm. All right. Yes, we have UFOs outside right now.
They're frozen with the little tiny bodies.
Body Spray Bandit is loving it.
What would a little tiny guy look with a coat?
I don't know.
They will freeze, or maybe the skin is really, really rough.
I think Paul answered that. For some reason, my keyboard shortcut to hide the on-screen controls is not working. Any troubleshooting suggestions? Yeah, the command tilde. The command tilde. It's working for us. I don't know.
Command tilde function.
Command tilde. Yeah.
The function key.
Oh, the function one? Yeah, hold down function.
Yeah, for
Hold down
temporarily, so you can just hold it to see something and then release this. So I'm just holding. Oh, we're not on live.
Oh no, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So hold the function key, and it temporarily disables the interface.
And or
Right.
and or command tilde to have it gone for good until you bring it back with the command tilde or command. I'm so used to command tilde apostrophe. Is that a
Command tilde.
a command apostrophe?
The command tilde. That's it.
All right, and let's see what else. I wish it was possible to edit design comments without going live. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Dixon. That's a feature request. Feature request. But yeah, it would be. I don't know. It was a glitch, I guess, but I was able to do it one time, you guys. And Fuljens is like, yes. I'm like, I was able to do it because I did. It happened, but it hasn't happened again. So I guess it was a glitch.
Tatiana says, "I see what you mean about profiles and resources used." Yep. Yep.
Robert.
What's going on, DJ? Good to see you here.
I call him Robert.
Robert, Mr. DJ Robert.
DJ Robert.
Eric Mockler, good to see
Hello.
you here. Victor says, I have local drive, then move to internal, and then move from external to NAS.
There we go. That's
Victor is in
one.
IT, so
Yeah.
take Victor's recommendations. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely local for me first, and then external. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, mix minus.
Jesus,
that is like that. You know, we've done Ecamm live interview challenges and just helping out people or troubleshooting stuff or interview mode. And they're, you know, the first thing is like, we can't hear you or there's something, whatever. What are you using? Rodecaster Pro. Mix minus. Fixed.
Yeah, and I heard the Rodecaster one doesn't have the issue. Is that what it is, or is
no,
it all
no,
of them? All of them do?
Anything with a mix, well, Rodecaster wise mix minus. The Zoom P4 has a mix minus also.
Yeah, but it didn't give us the.
Because
I mean, at least me, I haven't.
It was,
yeah,
you know, because it was set up and everything. We didn't have to worry about it, but yeah. Pastor Jose, I go away from here and look at this TV.
It's Fuljens' studio though. Like that's his studio.
Thank you, Pastor. Because I remember speaking of the interview challenge, Pastor was there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was like getting some inspiration from his studio background.
Yeah.
He had like the nice clean black wall.
Yeah.
With
the blue t-shirt.
with the lamp and everything. It was looking nice. So
Yeah.
got inspiration from you all. So thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor. Comments area has a mind of its own sometimes. Yes, it does. Eric says, yes, I recorded local, transfer into my Dropbox, and then sync automatically into my NAS, and videos are saved.
Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to invest in the NAS solution.
Robert brings in Bluetooth calls on the Rodecaster. Yes. Yeah. You could bring the Bluetooth calls onto RCP1 or 2. I love that feature. You know, we use that to like, you know, like you want to get some vibes going on. Just have your playlist. You don't have to worry about using the sound effects in Ecamm or whatnot. Just have it playing through your phone. It's a beautiful feature. And other things too. If you anything audio wise that you want to bring in via Bluetooth, you can do that there. And that's what I like about we keep mentioning the Zoom P4. The Zoom P4 has a Bluetooth audio interface that you plug on the side of the mixer, and you can do the same thing where you can connect Bluetooth to your phone and whatnot. So
it is
like
so,
a mini Rodecaster Pro.
It is very
under
portable,
under $200 or whatever.
Portable. It has all the features that you need for at least for even more than that, because it allows for microphones. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least I haven't maxed out 4. Have you maxed out 4?
Yes and no, right? So you could have up to 4, but if you're using up all 4 XLRs on the Zoom P4, that means you're using up the ports that allow for the mix minus and for whatnot. So technically, if you're doing a stream setup like this, I think we're only able to use up to like 2 or 3 of the XLR ports, because the other 2 we needed for the mix minus and whatnot.
Yeah. So it's like for a podcast where you have 2 guests and you're in person, it would be great. And also for just yourself, that would just be perfect.
Yeah. Hank says, believe me, we had some fun trying to troubleshoot stuff around here. Don't give up. Yes.
Right, exactly. I'm like, because when it snows, then Fuljens is like, okay, we don't have to go out. Fuljens just loves answering troubleshooting questions. So I knew that this stream was going to be a little bit longer. So I set myself and my meetings like a little bit out, because I'm not rushing him. But yeah, thank you for the cute reminder, Al Jennings. It is 11:32 in New York, in upstate New York. And it has been great. So everybody, there is a checklist if you wanted to download it. Can we
pull up the QR code?
We're going to. Do you have it?
Mm-hmm.
And you can suggest other features, for example, that we missed. You can add it there. You can suggest it. You send us an email, and we will update it. And we will continue to update it. So this will be. We're trying to make it. Tatiana, let me know how you like that. I created that in Craft. So let me know how
Unblock us.
Let me know what you think about the interface. And we're gonna continue to update it and eventually just have a whole a sheet where we will cover this. So it will be the checklist for troubleshooting live streams. And then the next one we will have another checklist. So eventually it will just be a document with different troubleshooting for different things. So
it's a working document.
Yeah, working record. So that's the first one, and you guys get to test it out and give us some suggestions or everything else that you think will make it better.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this one needs to be refreshed because we did say there's a sixth step here.
Sixth step,
where it's to practice.
Oh, it
going
didn't.
live.
It didn't. Okay.
Maybe I need to refresh this page, but
okay.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned, it is a working document.
Yeah. The six is like we asked Paul. I'm like, Paul, what else we're missing? And then Paul is like, well, maybe practice. I'm like, yes, Paul. So we got to audit. There it is.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. There it is. Yes, everybody. So this has been great. You guys have been amazing, asking questions and sharing your experiences.
And we hope that we covered everybody and we didn't miss anything. But if not, if you're watching the replay, feel free to please leave a comment in the comment section so we can address it earlier if we did not miss you, if we missed it. And thank you so much for Mr. Moderator for helping out others who were having other issues in the regarding the troubleshooting. And I know Paul was answering a lot of stuff like with Marcus and Marine.
Paul is just awesome.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
all right. So
I think we covered everybody. So if not, let us know or leave it in the comment, and then we'll address it after the stream. Please and thank you. and you're getting Al in trouble here. So
no, he's not complaining. I was not complaining. I was like, we're over here. Like Fuljens has his fireplace over there. Let me see. What is it? So after the stream is over, he just sits here and chills.
I'm gonna roast marshmallows. Is that what you're saying? I just chill and roast marshmallows.
No. Afterwards he said the question he will ask is like, "What do you have for food?" He's like, "Why are you making me?" I'm like, "Well, there's soup in the pantry."
And roast my marshmallows back there. Great, got it.
Oh shoot. Okay, so yeah, Tatiana, that is a great closing here, right?
Mistakes, issues are going to happen. I don't beat myself up or lose heart or expect I won't do something wrong. Just learn from it and keep moving.
That's right.
Yep.
That is right.
And then also too, if something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right? Because how many times have we heard this? Especially all throughout last week. Adrian was saying it too, right?
Yeah,
because it's like, oh look, Adrian. This happened on Adrian's stream out of all people. It happens on Doc's stream.
It's
it happens
so humbling to see.
It just happens.
Yeah, it's humbling to see.
It's not something where we're doing something and we did something. Again, we didn't do anything wrong, right? The stream quality changed or something that we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It just Ecamm just popped a notification popped up and said your stream changed. Like
it does.
What's supposed to do?
The heart does skip a couple of beats.
Yeah.
It does. Like we're not gonna lie with that, right?
Because you worry that the stream is gonna end or stop. That's
And
But,
like for me, for example, for here, we know you guys and you guys know us. So if something happens, just like last time, it's like, oh my gosh, right? And then we either go and post in the community or we come live real quick to rectify. But when it happens in a production, like a customer live production, we're like,
right.
Yeah, that's when like we have to have like
wary.
3 computers and like 2 monitors. It's
and trying to play it cool, while resolving it too. Like, without the customer finding out what's going on.
Fuljens right away goes like, I'm like, it's okay. We're gonna handle this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like a cool face. I've been trying to practice my stay still face.
Practice your cool face.
Yeah. Fuljens just right away gets, I'm like, yeah, because you like right away, you're like, oh my. I'm like, it's okay, it's going to be fine. But, but I'm dying inside, you guys, dying.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
So, wait, request to move your hair a little bit so you can see the name on the jacket.
Oh.
Ferrari.
My brother works there. He hooked me up with a lot of nice merch.
Nice.
Yes,
it's not normally Ecamm that's broken, right?
Exactly, right. That's exactly right.
Just those rare occasions.
Yeah.
Just those rare occasions where something will go wrong. And again, Paul said it's not a question of if it's going to happen, but when.
That's true.
Yep.
That is very true, and that's the thing. Just figure it out. And we go like, oh, it's just getting those miles in, like Doc said, so that when things happen, we know how to handle it without freaking out too much, right? Without having something like yesterday, you guys. True story. We're a customer. We learned one lesson learned was just bring an additional monitor, or another lesson learned was listen to Anna. Just saying, but. Fuljens is like, yeah, okay, this is the story. So we're here, and then I said to Fuljens, why are we bringing that big monitor? Because we don't need to bring a big monitor. But Fuljens likes to have really cool, big setups.
No, that's not why.
No, that wasn't why?
No. The reason why I brought the monitor is that we have 2 additional monitors that we can bring on mobile that we don't have to like unplug anything from our studios and leave them away, because especially when the studio that we stream from with ENN, it's also Anna's photography studio, it's this, is that, and we're always like removing something. We have to replace everything, and then when we're live before ENN, now we have to readjust the camera. Why is the camera? And I'm like, because we took the tripod with us and we had to, so I'm like, why are we doing all this when we have this extra equipment that we can bring on the road with us, and then we just don't touch anything? I love coming back and not having to take any of my lights apart, my cameras, but it just so happens that one of my monitors crapped out, so it just crapped out.
We have 3 additional monitors,
it's
and Fuljens chose
LG monitor that's been working fine with no issues. We never have any problems with it.
But it's okay.
And it's not a matter of the size, right? It could have been, it's a 27-inch monitor. It could have been a 20-inch monitor or a 15-inch monitor. That's not the problem with the size. The problem is that the monitor crapped out. The screen went glitchy.
Because
it's not about the size of the monitor.
Fuljens likes elaborate things. That's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You like elaborate things. So we have many other monitors. But anyway, so he brought this big monitor, and the monitor did you bring it to Best Buy?
I have an appointment at 4:00.
Okay. So the screen cracked because, in my opinion, it was just too big.
The screen is not cracked. The screen is intact. It's glitching. So there's like no actual physical crack on the screen. So
what was the little crack we saw?
It's not a crack. It's like just wear and tear. There's like little chips on the plastic itself. The plastic has little chips, but the monitor is not cracked. That's what I'm saying. It's like the monitor is fine. It's just that when you turn on the monitor, it's glitching now. So it needs to be repaired internally.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah, but we have a smaller. I like things simple. I like to bring just what I need.
Thank you, Pastor. It's not about the size. And did you not feel good when you got back and you didn't have to put anything away except for your tripod, because we took your tripod with you.
But we have other monitors, though. That's the thing. We have 2
that we
other
have
monitors.
To unplug. And then
in our studio.
And then the thing is too, right? So we have another monitor. It's like a Spectre monitor. The last time we brought that mobily. This thing was like, I don't know, in 180p whatever, right? So like this thing is, it was
4x3.
horrible. It was, the quality on that thing is horrible. We're trying to use it for a screen share, and the screen share is like all pixelated and whatnot. That was horrible.
But you know why that happened though?
Why? Here comes the blame.
No, for real? No, you want me to say it? No, you guys, because I'm like, okay, so if you're bringing something to a production, or if you're doing something, you need to test all of your stuff first. You need to test it before you put it into production. And Fuljens is like, okay, let's bring it. And I'm like, we haven't used that before. Let's not bring it. We haven't used it. And he's like, no, it's okay. So we brought it, and lo and behold, the little monitor was doing some crazy stuff. We did go through it. He did figure it out, but it was stressful. That was the most stressful production we had with that customer.
And that's why yesterday I'm like, you know what? The monitors that we're talking about, these are the same monitors that I have here on my desk. These are these LG 4K USB-C monitors. You know, I could just pick them up and carry them away into my car.
I think you should get bags for them, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Like protection bags.
But again, the monitor itself is not damaged. There's something, and again, remember, there was a flood, right? So
was that in the flood?
Yes, that monitor was in the flood. And then I was like, oh my God, please work. And I remember turning it on, and it worked just fine, both of them, right? So one of them did not get water damage, but that one was in the box, still wrapped up after moving on the floor, and 2 to 3 inches of water. And for it to turn on after that, I'm like, thank goodness, right? But I think that probably something happened after that, because it was able to turn on, but I don't know. I could have sworn that when I turned it on to test it out, I was able to get a picture. I didn't notice that it was glitching and whatnot, but it was until yesterday where we had it turned on, and we were there for a few minutes letting it settle in, and it was like, boom, nope, I'm not working.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, the thing is, you guys, just like is this, I have to hand it to you though, because when hardware things happen, he can figure it out on site, because he brings like a whole
everything.
bag of cable, and he brings the whole thing.
Yeah, bring everything.
But for me, I don't like to be in that situation, right? I like to just test all of my equipment and put it into use, right? Put it into the right environment and push it to where it is that I'm going to do. So when I bring it to production, I know what I'm going to get. But Fuljens is a little bit more daring with that. He's just like, I'm gonna bring this. And I'm like, did we test that with the application we're using? He's like, no. So I'm like, God, help me with this. And then I just put it up to God in his hands.
And everything runs
and
smooth.
then no, it doesn't run smooth. It works, but it's not smooth, because the heart attacks that you have and the sweat situation, like.
Yeah. But you know, and that's another learning experience too, right? Because think about you as the person behind the camera and all the heart attacks and the sweats and whatever we want to call it, right? But when you watch the finished product, do we see anything like that?
No,
right?
we don't.
We don't,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah, the
again,
customer,
and that's another thing too. Have your heart attacks, sweat and whatnot, but keep it to yourself.
Yeah. No, but okay. So the customer actually, which is why I'm like a little bit more lenient about it, but the customer loves Fuljens. Like, she is like in love with him. And I'm like, okay, so she'll be okay. But he was so like, because of the monitor, right? That I was like, let's not bring the monitor, blah, blah, blah. We brought it. This thing's not working out. She's asking me some stuff, so I'm micing her up. I'm getting her prep. I'm giving her the run of show, the rundown, what's going to happen. And then she asked the question that Fuljens had the answer to. So I went to Fuljens and asked the question. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to do the... I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, oh, Fuljens.
That was not yesterday.
Yesterday
that was the other time.
Yeah, that was the time previous to that. So that's why you brought the monitor this time.
Yeah, because of the crappy monitor that we brought.
There's
a poll. There's a poll now.
I know, we're not even looking at the comments.
Funny.
But it was yesterday, honestly, yesterday's stream, yesterday production was lit.
And then we want to be having this now it's a debate. Had the monitor been fine, you know, because everything, you know, the monitor was supposed to do its job. It just so happens that was the monitor that was damaged from the flood. So And then luckily, thankfully, we did not need to use that monitor because we bring two monitors for a specific reason, right? Because one monitor is the person on camera that's their confidence monitor. They see the comments, they can see the entire broadcast on their end. For us, we're using the second monitor for if we want to do screen share one, right? We did not need to use screen share yesterday, so we didn't even need that second monitor because we used the widgets, the interactive web widgets in Ecamm instead of the screen share.
Which was a lifesaver yesterday.
Yeah. So we had all of our web pages as widgets in Ecamm, and we didn't need that second monitor.
Right.
That's the only reason why we had the other one.
Yeah, that was great.
Otherwise, we're able to see everything on the MacBook Pro, which was like the Silicon, not the Intel, and everything was fine from there. Yeah.
Yeah, and the customer had no clue this was happening. We're just like, and she comes after monitor breaks and all of that.
Yeah.
And she comes on, she's like, can we elevate this monitor a little bit more so that we're like, yeah. So we go on looking and Fuljens is in the back like, and I'm like, okay, I'll do this. And then she goes, and then I go, Fuljens Henry, stop because you were doing something at the last minute. And she goes, oh, Fuljens Henry.
Anyway.
You guys, everything is cool because she loves him. She's actually calling him FH now. FH. She's at that level. But it was great. It was a great learning experience. We applied all of the techniques that we learned, and Ecamm saved the day yet one more time with the widget overlay. Because if we would have had to use screen share with everything that we were covering yesterday, that would have been hard. That would have been a little bit hard. Because I would have just passed it to you. I would have been like, here you go, Fuljens.
I don't even need to check the results. I already know.
You already know my way. I want to read the comments, you guys, because we weren't like,
See. I'm gonna click on my name and see what happens. Oh, look at that. It's not too bad. It's 50-50.
It's 50-50. Joey. Let's see.
That's funny.
What we got? Oh, Dan made it.
No, Dan was the cause of the poll.
No, he said I didn't divide them. They decided themselves. Okay, wait.
Option C. And Kimberly abstains.
I abstained from that survey like nobody.
Funny. You see? Paul,
it was Dan who did it. Dan
is the troublemaker. And then Hank says, I'm Team Anna. I have a feeling Fuljens will forgive me. Right? Exactly. Don't vote for Anna. You may want to reconsider that if you don't vote for Anna.
I absolutely, you guys, honestly, I absolutely love my belief to be challenged. I love it. So it's like when Fuljens is like, okay, yeah. And I'm like, no, but do you like it? And then he goes on expressing himself. But I really love my...
yeah, Dan. The poll is rigged.
I love it. But there you go, awesome. You guys. This is how and we're getting better and better every time we do productions because we just stay on our things. I prepare everything, the run of show and everything before, and Fuljens does all the hardware. He's like, what camera do you want to use? And I'm like, I want to use this camera. He takes it on. He goes on and does all the stuff. And then I'm like, okay, here's a microphone for the client. Here's what we have to do. I go on Ecamm. So we have our specific jobs. And then when we have to go towards the end, like, okay, this is what's happening. And then I run all the scenes to Fuljens. I do all of it. When it's production time, we are like this. Like, there's no confusion. There's nothing. We know what we're doing. And the productions are really great. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
Oh man.
Look at that. It's 11:50. This is a 2-hour
I mean, time flies when you have a UFO blizzard outside. It is coming down.
Yeah, it is still coming.
I think
down.
it's almost getting to the point of snowblower type of inches outside.
You like that though?
Not really. I've been enjoying these fake storms lately. You don't have to go outside and do some snow blowing and heavy shoveling, but it's getting to the point of having to snow blow, which is kind of whatever.
You're gonna be okay.
Uh-huh.
I'll make you some nice food.
After all that, right? Thanks.
Everybody, thank you so much. Remember, do your Go through that checklist, okay? And feel free to make suggestions for us so that we can continue to update it. See what.
Yeah, and then I know Mr. Moderator shared the link with you all for the checklist, and we'll also add it into the description for Team Replay. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome,
All
everybody.
right,
Well,
perfect.
thank you
This
so
was
much
great.
for being here with us in this nice, shining weather.
Shining.
Shining weather. Learning with us.
Oh, man.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have an amazing Friday. Thank you so much, Paul, for being awesome.
Yes.
And you guys for staying here with us, learning and having some fun, some Friday fun. We will see you on Monday on ENN, everyone. We have a great show. We have two OGs.
Some OGs.
Who is Eliseo or Eliseo?
Eliseo Way.
Or Eliseo Way.
And DJ Strick.
And they're going to come over. They're the closers for Black History Month. And we're going to have some great trivias as well for them. So if you don't know about them, go ahead and learn about it because the trivias are going to be about them.
And also a lot of reminiscing from how we all got together during Vlogmas 2020.
Yeah.
It was a special time.
Yeah, and what going live in video can do for you
Yeah.
and how it can change your life, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go over that.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And stay tuned at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be Ecamm live demo with Doc Rock. If you have additional questions outside of these troubleshootings that we went over, make sure you have your questions ready for Doc at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Ecamm Live YouTube channel.
Okay, the teamwork is Fuljens goes out, does his stuff, and I greet him with food in the house. That's the teamwork. And then he comes.
Where's the teamwork in the snow blowing?
I make him some food
shoot.
today. I'm making him some really good food that he loves, so he's gonna be.
Thank you, Tatiana. Appreciate that so much.
Aw.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Hello, Nick Gamer. You missed like a whole we cover everything. So go ahead and do the
Check
replay.
out the replay.
And we have a checklist on troubleshooting your live streams that you can go over while you're watching the replay.
Yes, and enjoy your Saturday, Marcus, because it's 2 a.m. in Korea.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, you guys. Now for real. Bye. Have a great Friday.
Yes, we're hitting the closing. Bye.